And there it goes. Let me move the window down. Hello, everybody. Today is my day 2.120. Move this up. Here we go. It is September 8th, 2018, and I decided to put on makeup today. As you can tell, green, brown makeup, and it's one of those things. As a little girl, when I was younger, I was just so envious of my mother and my sister and my grandmother who had the ability to transform themselves. And I remember a couple years ago, today's talk, by the way, is probably going to be just a diatribe, just me. They're sharing. Got a lot going on, but I can remember even less than 10 years ago, we went to visit when I was still married. One of my ex's friends who was like, we were going to go out and do something together. And we first met her and she had just taken a shower. So she's like, let me put my makeup on. And, so it was the kind of thing she would do something and come out and talk to us while she put her makeup on. And I was just so enthralled with the transformation. Literally, it was like two different people. She was very good at putting on her eyeliner, and she got the cat eye and whatnot, and it was just totally, it was such a, I don't know, it stuck with me, obviously, and so today, not that I can do that same thing, the cat eye and whatever else, but it is such a, I don't know, it just makes me feel good. It just makes me feel good. I love lipstick. I love putting on makeup. I do. I do. The reason for today putting on makeup is we got invited. Last weekend we moved into a new digs, new duplex, and our duplex neighbor next door is having a birthday party in about an hour. And I bumped into her in the store, and she said, "Oh, you have to come over, my daughter." Da da da. And so I kind of came home, and I'm like, well, we've got to make a good first impression and whatnot. So cleaned up, shaved, and put on makeup. And I guess I'll put on my good breast disease later. My padded bra that looks like I've grown breasts. Make a good impression and whatnot. Shaved the boys here. Shaved these the other day. I just got so tired of looking at my hairy arms, and I said, you know what, we're gonna shave them. And that's what I did. Not with a razor, on a trimmer. What you use to cut hair with, electric. So anyway, but I want to talk about a couple different things today. Number one, preface this with the fact that we close on the house in 2 days. And that's got a lot on my mind because of the rain and everything else. I'm worried something's going to happen and we're not going to be able to sell the house. So I have that going on. And then I think I had mentioned in the last video, it's very hard for me to relax now, and I just need to frickin' sit down and relax. It's very hard for me to do. We're still kind of doing last minute things. This morning, Miss Jamie and her wife, Meg, we got together and got the deep freezer out of the basement and did the last minute, the last minute things you do at the last minute. And so, like I said, I'm looking at the clock and the day and the calendar and just kind of going, okay, 2 days. 2 days from now, by this time, it'll be closed. And it'll be the closing of the house, obviously, but it'll be the end of a chapter in my life, or an end of a part of my life where, I had moved into the house with my ex-wife. We bought it together, raise our daughter and everything else. And so I'm almost wondering if I'm feeling some sadness from that. Things obviously did not work out the way we intended. And I know sometimes we do things with the best of intents. And to look at it today, I can see what we saw, 11, 12 years ago when we looked at it and we said, this is an ideal place to raise our daughter. And, you know, one of us was the mother, one of us was the father, and it was a perfect place for my daughter, to run and play and have fun. And we had what would have been, what would have been. But it didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way. The father had a woman inside of him, and the woman came out and has blossomed. And the mother had some other things. She's herself now, and I'm myself. We're both ourselves. And again, I think maybe there's a little bit of sadness there. Happiness, but sadness too. And I'll say that I've seen some families lately, not so much where we live now, because here in the duplexes, I think the majority of us, I think, are all single families, you know, whatnot. But at the grocery store, when I see families, it makes me sad. I'm happy for them, sad for me, I guess. But that's the case. I hear a door close. Hang on a minute, we're going to pause. All right, there we go. Sorry for the pause. I just wanted to shut my door a little more. I was talking about families, and you know, going to the grocery store today, for example, and seeing a mother and a father and a baby, or a child or two children, and maybe I feel like I've failed just a little bit. You know what I mean? Even though they say I'm my authentic self and it's so much better. That's what we say when we're our authentic selves. But I lament, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I could very easily feel like I failed somewhere, you know, but I'm still my daughter's father, you know, and that's been a bit of a change lately. I used to be somewhat adamant that, you know, I want to be called, you know, one of your mothers. I don't have to be your mother exactly, but I want to be called one of your mothers or whatnot. And lately I've been like, you know what? I am, not that I was ever ashamed of it, but I am a father. You know, I am my daughter's father. Will always be, regardless of how I look on the outside. And I love my daughter very much as a parent. And I thought about that today, that she had texted me while I was at the grocery store, and I wrote back and I said, you know, I can't wait to be with you later today and play video games or whatever we're going to do, you know. And that's very true. So, but like I said, I think part of me has been feeling some of that envy of families. But, you know, there's always someone I think probably we could be envious of. There's someone better off than we are. There's someone worse off than we are, you know. But I think it's a natural, you know, it's like seeing a mother and a baby, a newborn, and you're like, oh, you know. And for us trans women, we're like, oh, I kind of wish I could have experienced giving birth or breastfeeding or whatever else, you know. We're happy. I'm happy that someone else gets to experience that, in the same way that I lament not being able to firsthand. But I'm thankful for the opportunity that I have right now, and for the years ahead. My daughter said something the other day about, you know, finding someone for me finding someone. And boy, that just seems like landing on the moon at this point, you know. My primary concern is my daughter. And I know there's going to come a time, she's 18, she's going to be leaving, and then I'll be alone. So, but we'll deal with that when we get there. You know, much like having a child or being in a relationship. Um, there are pluses and minuses to everything. I know that. I'm old enough to know that. You know, I am somewhat envious of couples that stay together, because that means that the love is very true. One person was madly in love with someone else and willing to accept a little bit of a change to keep that person in their lives. And so, yeah, I think I am a little, to be honest with you, a little green with envy. And I hope to find that love too one day, if possible. So I share that with you. And then again, in the same way as I just said about being happy for someone else, I can be very happy for someone else who's in that situation. I'm glad someone made it. May not be me, maybe one day, but at least I know someone else made it. Someone else made it. It's possible. That gives me hope. I think as far as transitioning goes, that's all I can really think of. I'm kind of getting tired of dilating. If I could bitch for a minute, but I understand the reason why we dilate. And other than that, my friends, that's really just about it. I do have moments where I'm like, what is my reason for existing? And I know what it is. It's my daughter next door. My daughter. Obviously, life is life. I mean, we have ups and downs and everything. And part of me is thinking about, trying to relax, being able to relax and everything. Part of that is having something to look forward to. Last night, like I said, we played Lego Star Wars, my daughter and I. We loved it. And I'm looking forward to that today. That's my incentive to get through today. So much effort and energy has gone into the closing on the house. I mean, it's dominated my life for the last 4 weeks. And, part of me is like, can you imagine not thinking about it anymore? Yeah, it's nice. I hope. There is a back door for other things to creep in, the next, my job or this or that or the other. But I tell myself rationally, you just have to wait and see what happens. Don't judge the future by the present. Obviously, look at us. Look at where we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and where we are today. That's a very rational thing to say. Whereas as women, we're emotional. Rational thought doesn't always hold water. So anyway, that's where I'm at today. Just trying to relax and let things happen. We'll go from there. Something else I have done. Karen is my middle name. I go by Karen. But in doing everything for the move, I kept on getting my first name, Robin. And finally I just gave into it and I said, you know what, let's just go back to being Robin. And so that's kind of what I've done. But I will answer to Karen, obviously. And that may change. I reserve the right to change that at the drop of a hat. But I thought I'd share that with you, that my dad has really helped me out a lot with the house. And he calls me Rob. And there was a time that really bothered me too, but that doesn't bother me now. It's so small. It's so small. And I understand, going through your transition, you want people to call you feminine, girly name, something. And where I'm at right now, I just don't care. And I look pretty good with makeup on, don't I? A couple hours ago, I was at the store and I was like, all I could see was a raggedy woman, So I guess I clean up okay. All right, well, I'm going to force myself to just relax. So I will sign off here. But good luck to everyone in your journey. And we'll catch up with you later. All right, till next time, my friends, hang in there. I'll do the same.